You walk into your favorite fast food spot, trusting the promises on the wall. Fresh ingredients, real beef, made from scratch daily. But what if those pledges were carefully crafted lies designed to separate you from your money while serving something entirely different? The fast food industry makes over $200 billion a year, selling an illusion of quality, transparency, and value. Behind the bright menus and friendly smiles lies a long history of deception. False ingredient claims, manipulated nutrition info, and marketing that blurs the line between food and fiction. These aren't harmless exaggerations, they're deliberate misrepresentations that betray customer trust. Today, we're exposing 8 major fast food chains caught lying to their customers. Some of these revelations will shock you. Others will confirm what you've suspected for years, but one thing's certain. After this, you'll never look at fast food marketing the same way again. Number 8. Panera Bread. For years, this chain positioned itself as the healthy alternative to traditional fast food. Their marketing campaigns emphasized clean eating, wholesome ingredients, and transparency. The company even launched a massive advertising blitz promising to remove artificial preservatives, sweeteners, and colors from their menu. They wanted customers to believe that choosing Panera meant choosing health-conscious dining without sacrificing convenience. The reality painted a vastly different picture. Independent nutritional analyses revealed that many Panera menu items contained sodium levels that rivaled or exceeded traditional fast food competitors. Their seemingly innocent pastries and baked goods were loaded with hidden sugars that customers never saw coming. The bread that formed the foundation of their brand identity contained ultra-processed ingredients that contradicted every health claim the company made. Investigative reports uncovered that Panera's definition of clean eating was remarkably flexible. Items marketed as natural and wholesome contained preservatives that had simply been renamed or reclassified to avoid detection. The company's transparency claims fell apart under scrutiny when researchers discovered that nutritional information was often incomplete or misleading. Customers ordering what they believed were healthy salads were consuming meals with calorie counts that exceeded many burger combinations from traditional fast food chains. The most damaging revelation involved Panera's preparation methods. Despite marketing materials showing fresh vegetables being chopped and ingredients being prepared in-store, many locations relied heavily on pre-packaged, processed components that arrived frozen or pre-prepared. The artisanal image that drove premium pricing was largely fabricated, with actual food preparation resembling assembly line operations more than the craft bakery atmosphere the company promoted. Number 7. Subway. Once hailed as the healthy alternative to greasy fast food, Subway built an empire on the promise of freshness and customization. Eat Fresh became one of the most recognizable slogans in the world. Customers believed they were choosing transparency, watching their sandwiches built right in front of them, selecting every ingredient and feeling in control of what they ate. But over the past decade, that image has unraveled through a series of controversies that exposed how far the company's reality strayed from its branding. The first blow came with the now infamous foot-long scandal. Customers discovered that many of Subway's signature 12-inch sandwiches measured barely 11 inches. A seemingly small discrepancy that symbolized something much larger, a pattern of overpromising and under-delivering. The incident might have been dismissed as trivial if not for what came next. Soon after the tuna controversy erupted, independent laboratory tests commissioned by major news outlets found that Subway's tuna contained little to no detectable tuna DNA. The company responded with defensive statements about proprietary processing methods, an explanation that only deepened public skepticism. For loyal customers who had paid premium prices for fresh, high-quality seafood, the revelation felt like outright betrayal. Subway's supposed fresh-baked bread also became a legal liability when courts in Ireland and other jurisdictions ruled it contained so much sugar that it couldn't legally be classified as bread. This stunning detail shattered one of the brand's core selling points, that every location baked fresh, wholesome bread daily. In truth, the bread's sugar content was closer to that of cake than to a staple food. The produce that symbolized Subway's healthy image turned out to be another illusion. Former employees have reported that vegetables often sat for days past recommended freshness periods, with cost-cutting measures taking precedence over quality. Wilted lettuce, slimy tomatoes, and drying cucumbers were routinely served to unsuspecting customers under the guise of fresh. Even the meat and cheese products, central to Subway's customizable appeal, were plagued by quality control failures. Reports of improper storage, cross-contamination, and inconsistent handling revealed just how little oversight existed across the chain's thousands of franchise locations. The result is a brand that has become a case study in how corporate expansion and cost-cutting can destroy credibility. Subway promised transparency, health, and freshness, but delivered controversy, shortcuts, and deception instead. Number 6. Burger King. Once proudly known as the home of the Whopper, Burger King built its reputation on a single powerful claim: flame-grilled authenticity. For decades, its marketing drew a sharp contrast with competitors, portraying Burger King as the place where burgers were cooked over real fire, not pressed on a flat-top griddle. That image, smoky flavor, char marks, and the illusion of backyard grill craftsmanship became central to the brand's identity. Customers believed they were paying for superior preparation and taste. But behind the commercials and slogans, a different story emerged. Former employees and food industry insiders revealed that Burger King's flame grilling was often little more than a marketing illusion. In many locations, burger patties were pre-cooked in bulk, stored in warming trays, and reheated in microwaves before serving. The supposed flame grilling process, when performed at all, often lasted only a few seconds, just long enough to give the appearance of authenticity without the actual cooking experience. Customers paying for fresh, flame-grilled burgers were often eating reheated food that had been sitting under heat lamps for hours. Portion manipulation further eroded trust. The Whopper, once a symbol of size and value, has quietly shrunk over time. Television ads show towering sandwiches bursting with ingredients, but in reality, customers often receive smaller patties and thinner buns, engineered to reduce costs while maintaining the illusion of abundance. Even the fries and sides have fallen victim to cost-cutting. Redesigned packaging creates the appearance of full portions while holding noticeably less food. The chain's breakfast menu tells a similar story. Items marketed as freshly prepared are typically assembled from frozen eggs, pre-cooked meats, and reconstituted potatoes. The steaming golden breakfast shown in commercials contrasts sharply with the limp, microwaved meals customers actually receive. As the brand expanded globally, quality control suffered dramatically. Numerous Burger King locations have been cited for food safety violations, from improper storage temperatures to unsanitary kitchen conditions. In some cases, inspectors found expired ingredients being served to customers, a shocking contradiction for a chain that continues to market itself as flame-grilled and freshly made. Burger King's flame-grilled legacy, once a proud symbol of authenticity, now stands as a relic of its past, a slogan that outlived the practice it promised. Beneath the smoky marketing veneer lies a company increasingly defined by shortcuts, shrinkflation, and a loss of the very quality that made it famous. Number 5. Chipotle. When Chipotle first entered the national stage, it seemed to offer a new kind of fast food, one built on transparency, responsibility, and quality. Its slogan, "Food with Integrity," positioned the brand as the ethical alternative to industrial chains. Customers believed they were paying a little extra for fresh, locally sourced ingredients, sustainably raised meats, and careful human preparation. For a time, Chipotle became the poster child of the fast casual revolution, proof that convenience didn't have to mean compromise. But the company's glowing reputation began to crumble when a series of E. coli and norovirus outbreaks exposed the fragility of its operations. These weren't isolated events. They revealed deep systemic flaws in supply chain management and restaurant hygiene. The same brand that built its identity around safety and integrity had failed to enforce the most basic standards of food protection. Thousands of customers fell ill, and the promise of clean food began to look like a marketing illusion. The damage didn't stop there. Independent nutrition analyses revealed that healthy meals often packed more calories, sodium, and fat than the fast food options they claimed to surpass. A fully loaded burrito bowl could exceed 1,000 calories and rival the nutritional profile of a double cheeseburger meal, without the company ever disclosing that reality in its marketing. For many customers, this discovery felt like a betrayal. The brand they trusted for mindful eating was quietly serving calorie-dense meals disguised as wholesome options. Chipotle's sourcing claims also came under fire. Investigations uncovered that many ingredients advertised as locally sourced or ethically raised were in fact procured through the same large-scale distributors used by competitors like McDonald's and Wendy's. The farm-to-table image was in many cases corporate storytelling rather than verifiable fact. The company's internal focus on cost control often took precedence over its lofty ethical commitments. Inside the restaurants, employees painted an equally troubling picture. The slow, deliberate preparation shown in ads, fresh guacamole, hand-marinated meats, careful portioning, bore little resemblance to the high-pressure assembly line operations happening behind the counter. Workers described being pushed to sacrifice quality and safety for speed, undermining the very integrity the company used to justify its prices. Chipotle's fall from grace didn't just damage one brand, it marked a turning point in how consumers view ethical fast food. The chain that promised honesty became a cautionary tale about the widening gap between branding and reality. Number 4. Taco Bell. Few fast food chains have shaped American pop culture quite like Taco Bell, the self-proclaimed rebel of the drive-thru world. Built on a reputation for bold flavors, creative mashups, and late-night innovation, Taco Bell positioned itself as a fun, affordable alternative to traditional dining. But behind the quirky ads and catchy slogans lies one of the most damaging ingredient scandals in fast food history. One that shook consumer trust and revealed how far marketing can stretch the definition of food. The controversy began when independent testing and legal action revealed that Taco Bell's seasoned beef filling contained only about 35% actual beef. The rest, roughly 65%, was made up of fillers, binders, and flavoring agents designed to mimic the texture and taste of real ground beef. What millions of customers believed to be hearty, seasoned meat turned out to be a highly processed blend of soy lecithin, maltodextrin, modified starches, and coloring compounds. The lawsuit that followed accused Taco Bell of systematic misrepresentation, using menu descriptions and imagery that implied 100% real beef while selling a product that barely qualified as such under USDA standards. Consumers weren't just upset about the ingredients themselves, but about the deliberate deception. They weren't buying tacos made with meat substitutes. They were paying for beefy items that weren't actually beef. Taco Bell's corporate response only deepened public frustration. Instead of acknowledging the obvious disconnect between advertising and reality, the company leaned on legal technicalities, arguing that their products met the minimum definition of beef under federal labeling standards. Their claim that everyone in the industry does it highlighted a darker truth. Deceptive ingredient practices had become normalized across fast food. Further investigations revealed similar issues beyond the beef. The premium chicken used in quesadillas and bowls contained fillers and processing agents, contradicting claims of fresh, high-quality poultry. Even the chain's signature flavor systems were exposed as artificial blends engineered to replicate real seasoning rather than deliver authentic taste. For value-focused consumers, the revelation was a breaking point. Taco Bell's appeal rested on delivering hearty, flavorful meals at low prices, but customers realized they were paying meat prices for products that were mostly filler. The illusion of value collapsed, leaving behind a brand struggling to rebuild credibility in an era when transparency had become the new definition of quality. Number 3. KFC. Once synonymous with Southern hospitality and finger-lickin' good craftsmanship, Kentucky Fried Chicken built an empire on the promise of authenticity. The Colonel's secret recipe, freshly prepared chicken, and the image of cooks hand-breading every piece in store. For generations, that promise represented a standard of quality and care rarely seen in fast food. But behind the smiling Colonel and nostalgic advertising lies a very different reality, one defined by shortcuts, frozen food, and cost-cutting disguised as tradition. Investigations and insider testimonies have revealed that KFC's famous hand-breading ritual has largely vanished from everyday practice. Many franchise locations now receive partially cooked or pre-breaded chicken, which is simply reheated before serving. The 11 herbs and spices, once a guarded symbol of culinary mystery, are delivered in pre-measured industrial packets to ensure speed and uniformity. What customers see in commercials, real cooks lovingly. Seasoning each batch is more theater than truth. This shift toward industrial preparation has fueled widespread quality control failures. Health inspections across multiple states have cited KFC outlets for serving undercooked chicken, improper storage, and unsafe reheating practices. The push for faster service and reduced labor costs means chicken often sits for extended periods under heat lamps, losing both flavor and freshness. Instead of being fried to order, much of the food now cycles through mechanical warmers in the name of efficiency. Employee training has suffered just as much. Once a point of pride, cooking education has been replaced by brief instruction on assembling combo boxes and managing timers. The focus is no longer culinary consistency, but corporate speed metrics. For workers, the job has shifted from cooking to performing repetitive reheating tasks. For customers, that change has quietly eroded the signature flavor and texture that made KFC stand apart. Even the chain's iconic sides have fallen victim to the same industrialization. The mashed potatoes that once simmered from scratch now come from dehydrated flakes mixed with water. The coleslaw is shipped in sealed containers, and biscuits, once hand-rolled in store, often arrive frozen and pre-baked. The result is a menu that feels familiar but tastes increasingly generic. KFC still sells nostalgia, but the recipe for authenticity has been replaced by efficiency. The Colonel's legacy now lives mostly in commercials, not in the kitchen. Number 2. Popeyes. The Louisiana-style chicken chain that built its reputation on authentic Creole flavors and made-from-scratch preparation has been exposed for widespread use of frozen, pre-prepared menu items that contradict their artisanal marketing claims. The chain's rapid expansion and emphasis on speed of service have systematically undermined the traditional cooking methods that originally differentiated Popeyes from competitors. Internal documents and employee testimonies have revealed that most menu items arrive at restaurants fully prepared and require only reheating before serving. The red beans and rice that were marketed as slowly simmered traditional recipes come frozen in portion-controlled packages. The jambalaya and other signature sides that were supposed to represent authentic Louisiana cooking are mass-produced in industrial facilities and distributed frozen to maintain consistency and reduce labor costs. The chicken preparation that forms the core of Popeye's identity has been similarly industrialized despite marketing claims about traditional cooking methods. While some locations still bread chicken pieces on site, the seasoning blends and preparation techniques have been standardized to eliminate the regional variations and cooking expertise that originally defined the brand. The bold flavors that attracted customers seeking alternatives to bland fast food chicken have been diluted to ensure consistency across thousands of locations. Quality control issues have plagued the chain as expansion has outpaced operational capabilities. Multiple locations have faced health department violations for improper food storage, inadequate reheating procedures, and failure to maintain proper serving temperatures. The food safety protocols necessary for handling frozen, pre-prepared items have proven challenging for franchisees focused on rapid service and cost control. Employee training has been reduced to basic reheating and assembly procedures rather than the cooking skills necessary for authentic Creole cuisine. Workers learn to operate warming equipment and follow portion control guidelines rather than developing the culinary expertise that customers expect when paying premium prices for supposedly authentic regional cooking. The most shocking aspect of Popeye's deception involves their biscuit preparation. These buttermilk biscuits that customers line up for, believing they're witnessing fresh baking through kitchen windows, actually arrive as frozen dough portions that require only basic reheating. The scratch-made appearance that commands premium pricing is entirely theatrical, designed to maintain the illusion of traditional Southern cooking while delivering mass-produced convenience food. Pricing strategies have become particularly problematic as customers pay artisanal prices for industrial food preparation. The Louisiana heritage that Popeyes trades on has been commoditized into marketing copy rather than actual cooking traditions. Menu items that should represent generations of culinary expertise instead reflect corporate cost optimization and operational efficiency priorities that eliminate everything authentic about regional cuisine. Number 1. McDonald's. The Golden Arches represent perhaps the most systematic and prolonged campaign of food deception in corporate history. No fast food chain has faced more global scrutiny, lawsuits, and public backlash over misleading marketing practices than McDonald's. For decades, this corporation has perfected the art of making processed, artificial food appear natural, healthy, and freshly prepared through carefully orchestrated marketing campaigns that bear no resemblance to actual food preparation methods. The pink slime controversy exposed McDonald's willingness to use industrial meat processing techniques that horrified consumers when they finally learned the truth. Ammonia-washed beef trimmings that had been mechanically separated and treated with chemicals were being served as hamburger meat while marketing campaigns emphasized quality beef and fresh preparation. The disconnect between advertised quality and actual ingredients was so extreme that it sparked international outrage and forced corporate policy changes. McDonald's response to pink slime revelations focused on technical compliance rather than addressing customer concerns about transparency and food quality. Corporate statements emphasized that their products met industry standards while completely ignoring the fundamental issue that customers had been misled about what they were actually consuming. The defensive posture revealed a company culture that prioritized legal protection over honest communication with the people who generated their profits. The transition to 100% fresh beef became another example of McDonald's manipulating language to create false impressions. The company launched massive advertising campaigns celebrating their commitment to fresh beef while quietly maintaining that this change applied only to quarter-pounder burgers. Regular hamburgers and cheeseburgers that comprised the majority of beef sales continued using frozen patties. Yet marketing materials created the impression that all beef products had been upgraded. French fry preparation became another source of deception when investigations revealed the extensive processing required to create McDonald's signature texture and flavor. The simple potato preparation that customers assumed was happening actually involved multiple chemical treatments, artificial flavoring systems, and preservatives that transformed basic potatoes into heavily processed products. The natural appearance and taste that customers experienced was entirely artificial, created through industrial food science rather than traditional cooking methods. McDonald's breakfast offerings revealed similar patterns of deception. Eggs that appeared freshly cracked and cooked to order were often pre-prepared liquid egg products that had been processed and reconstituted to mimic fresh preparation. The sausage patties and hash browns that completed breakfast meals contained preservatives, fillers, and artificial ingredients that contradicted every marketing message about morning freshness and quality ingredients. The McCafe beverage program introduced another layer of misleading claims when McDonald's positioned itself as a competitor to premium coffee chains while using instant coffee products and artificial flavoring systems. Customers paying specialty coffee prices were receiving beverages that bore little resemblance to the artisanal coffee preparation suggested by marketing materials and store design elements. Nutritional information manipulation became a particularly insidious form of deception, as McDonald's consistently understated calorie counts, sodium levels, and artificial ingredient content through creative serving size definitions and incomplete ingredient disclosures. Menu items marketed as lighter or healthier options often contained more calories and artificial ingredients than traditional offerings, yet corporate communications consistently emphasized healthy choices and balanced nutrition. Employee training programs revealed how systematically McDonald's had eliminated actual food preparation from restaurant operations. Workers learned to operate reheating equipment and follow assembly procedures rather than developing any cooking skills whatsoever. The kitchen operations that customers assumed involved food preparation were actually sophisticated reheating and packaging systems designed to create the illusion of fresh cooking while delivering entirely pre-prepared products. Supply chain investigations uncovered how McDonald's sourcing practices prioritized cost reduction over every quality claim featured in marketing campaigns. Suppliers were selected based on their ability to deliver consistent products at the lowest possible cost, rather than ingredient quality or preparation methods. The farm-fresh imagery used in advertising bore no relationship to the industrial agriculture and food processing systems that actually supplied McDonald's restaurants. Corporate culture documents revealed internal communications that explicitly discussed manipulating customer perceptions through marketing language while maintaining plausible legal defenses for deceptive practices. Executive discussions focused on managing public relations crises rather than addressing the fundamental disconnect between marketing claims and actual food quality that generated those crises in the first place. These 8 franchises expose a disturbing truth about the fast food industry. Deception isn't an accident, it's the business model. Behind every bright logo and cheerful slogan lies a system built to manipulate trust while maximizing profit. Marketing teams promise fresh, authentic, and wholesome, but operations teams quietly cut corners to meet cost targets. What makes this worse is how normalized the deceit has become. Lawsuits, exposés, and public outrage come and go, yet the same misleading tactics persist. Transparency has even become a paid feature. Clean ingredients and honest labeling now sold as luxury options instead of basic standards. Regulators have failed to keep up. Loopholes in labeling laws let corporations technically comply while still misleading customers. Franchise structures scatter accountability so effectively that no one can be held responsible when quality collapses or promises are broken. And the victims aren't just health-conscious shoppers, they're working families who trust these brands to provide affordable, honest meals. Many healthy options contain more sodium, sugar, and additives than classic junk food, betraying the very customers they claim to help. From Panera's clean food illusion to Subway's tuna controversy and KFC's frozen fresh chicken, each scandal exposes an industry that's turned dishonesty into an art form. These companies know exactly how far they can stretch the truth without legal consequence, and they do it every single day. The message is clear: these brands have shown you who they really are. Their ads sell comfort and care, but their practices sell illusions. Every purchase is a vote for integrity or deception. Now, at least you can choose with your eyes open.